Scarlet Witch is supposedly one of the most powerful Marvel characters out there. The difference is she uses her magic, so when we do these fights, you'll notice that she very rarely gets touched or touches anybody else.
Elizabeth Olsen has had a history with stunts, whether it was hanging on wires or trying to figure out the choreography to the hand movements for her powers on screen. And a lot of those stunts she has done by herself. We thought it'd be fun to look at the times that she has done these stunts without a stunt double. Of course, it's true that her stunts aren't as harsh as some of the others like Brie Larson or Tom Holland, but it depends on the character and what their powers are and what's demanded of them. However, Elizabeth Olsen doesn't disappoint when it comes to performing her stunts. In the beginning, she had a stunt double that was heavily involved in the bigger scenes, but as time went on, she wanted to be more involved, even if it meant she had to be strapped to a harness or on wires hanging for the floating effect of her character. But before we get into that, some Marvel trivia for you, and this one is for true Marvel fans. What was Stan Lee's intentions behind the Scarlet Witch character? Leave your answer in the comments down below and stick around to the end of the video to find out if your answer was correct.
For some reason, I'm okay being in a harness. It's fine to fly around and be in it for a certain period of time. And I really do enjoy it a lot. And with these things called tuning forks, so I'm not just being held up on wires, but I actually have a harness on with a big piece of metal that hugs my waist.
We have this incredible moment of Elizabeth on some sort of wires to make it appear as though she is floating for the effect of flying in Avengers Infinity War.
Oh yeah, there's more mouths on it, so you can see they're already starting. I don't know what we'll be filming. There are more mouths hit and miss, sometimes you can see some good stuff, sometimes it's not.
I was thinking as well,
The first few days we were all there till like 2, something crazy.
I'll go find
Must be about
In the beginning, she talks about how much she's wanted to be involved in the movement and Scarlet Witch's powers.
For me, I really have been wanting to be a part of the movement and the fighting for Scarlet Witch. I know like Evangeline feels the same with her character.
It was great to have Lizzie come to the training because then we put it like a sort of a book together
Of language.
all the language as well as moves that were great that we could just throw in anywhere.
But real quick, make sure you guys check out our Instagram page, linked down in the description. There's a ton of interview moments and memes, so make sure you check it out and give us a follow.
We've been enjoying how delicious it is to justify some of the things she does in the movie.
I love that there's a little bit of dread of what would happen if she were called.
All I think that was, oh my God, you just blew it.
Exactly.
All these people are gonna get hurt.
You're stirring her.
My fault.
I agree. It's not.
She goes a lot into detail about the fact that it's not just a fight and arm movement between fighting scenes. You have to play into the fact that there's emotion connected to it and it has a flow within the story, whether it's a lover's fight or an angry fight.
Everything when you have a conversation with anyone, they're like, oh, well, we're trying to tell this part of the story, and this is a lover's fight, and this is love and loss, and this is where we're gonna have a reversal. And I'm just thinking, well, shouldn't you just be making everyone look cool? But they're actually caring about telling the story as best as they can through fighting. You have more control over your body, and so we've done a variation of these tuning forks and wire work.
She tells a story during the scene where the women heroes of the MCU were trying to give the Infinity Gauntlet to Spider-Man in Endgame, and she had a bit of a slip-up when trying to do one of her stunts.
Or we're helping Marvel bring the gauntlet or the thing to the front or to Spider-Man or something. And I landed in the scene on wires and I lost my balance and I fell backwards and got totally slammed in the back of the head by the stunt person who was running.
It has been stated that the movement of her fingers when applying her powers is actually not just improv. It was choreographed from a movement coach. Jennifer White coached Olsen's movement in 2 more Avengers movies and is credited as her stunt double in Civil War. She was the movement coach in Maleficent, Mistress of Evil as well.
Do you come up with the hand stuff yourself?
I work with Jenny White, who's this amazing like postmodern
choreographer.
British dancer.
A hat, right? And
She's
so
a brilliant dancer.
So will you give us some of the moves? What do you go on? Give us some of the moves.
I mean, we start off with like a center energy kind of thing.
There it is.
Look at it. Look at the fingers. Get a close up on the
You
fingers.
try and like twitch your hand.
Watching those moments back, we watched that back multiple times in slow motion. So I think that was, it didn't make the film, but those are funny moments. I think when you mess up doing something so silly, it's very entertaining.
For the past 4 years, CC Ice, a stunt performer, has been helping Elizabeth Olsen portray the Marvel superhero Wanda Maximoff, assisting the actress with everything from flying to fight scenes as her stunt double. That work culminated in the January 2021 premiere of the Disney Plus WandaVision series. When it comes to her time in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, she had enough understanding of the character at that point to do a lot of the stunts on her own.
It was an exciting opportunity because it's really fun playing people with moral ambiguity. Her sacrifice would be for the greater good.
And doing your own stunts for any film is no easy task. Elizabeth Olsen learned a lot about her character and herself while doing all this work, and it's great to see not only her character develop, but her as a person as well. And we can see this while she is doing her stunts and wants to do retakes to make sure the scene is not only up to par, but well enough for the film and up to the ability she knows she can perform.
Whoa! I didn't like that!
Don't get up, everyone.
I hated that! Let me do it again, let me do it again, let me do it again, let me do it again. And you want to move it around, and you kind of play
Look
with
at
the
the middle
ball.
finger, man. The middle
pick it
finger
up
is
from
like
the
that.
ground,
I can actually
and
feel
you
the
can-
energy.
And you can
Okay, I wonder
shove
if
it
we
or
could
pull it.
don't break it. Don't break it.
And for the answer to our trivia question, Stan Lee once said about Scarlet Witch and her twin Quicksilver, "I remembered that I liked Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch very much, and I thought it would be fun to have villains who aren't really bad deep down. We already had a reluctant hero with Spider-Man, so I thought it'd be fun to create a pair of reluctant villains. I had big plans for Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch. I wanted them to eventually give up being villains and become heroes. That's why I used them in Avengers after I left X-Men."
When we were about to go back to finishing WandaVision, I was pitched the actual story of Doctor Strange, and I was shocked. No one told me that their plan for me was to be the villain.
We can also see how she has trained for this role as well. Recently, it's been revealed that her character is set to reprise her role as the Scarlet Witch in Season 2 of the animated What If series on Disney Plus in 2023. It'll be interesting to see her character in action in an animated form with Elizabeth Olsen's voice, but I feel like it was the right choice to have Elizabeth come back for her role, as no one else can do it quite like her, and it would be weird to see her character even in animation and not have Elizabeth's voice.
I don't really like roller coasters. I don't like going fast in cars. I don't really like adrenaline rushes in those ways. And so it's like the safest version of a roller coaster, I'd assume. And you lose your stomach a lot, and it just makes me laugh a lot.
Tom Holland was one time he even needed help drinking something from his suit, as it isn't a slip on and off kind of thing, and once he has it on, the producers try to keep him in it for as long as possible. So one time he had to take one of the eye sockets out just to take a drink of water.
Yeah, it's an interesting contraption to say the least. What I can do is I can take my left eye out, and there's a little thing that I pull out, and then I put a squeezy tube down into my mouth, and then I can drink from a bottle.
So what did you guys think about all this? Are you a fan of Elizabeth Olsen, and are you excited to see her character in the new What If series? Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on for more videos just like this. That's it for today though. We'll see you all next time with a brand new video.
We have to take it very seriously because it is dangerous. But anytime I have to land after being held 30 feet in the air and then they land you, and there's just a lot of things that I'm not very good at, and so you learn that very quickly, and we have to laugh at it.
That was a big change that I made, and I had a strong perspective on making her a villain.